welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making my famous delicious spaghetti sauce, and as you can see, these are the few ingredients that we will be using to make the spaghetti sauce. So let's get cooking, good looking. So right now I'm starting off with putting some minced garlic in. I don't know the specific measurement of it, but I do know that I love minced garlic. So it looks like I used maybe like 3 tablespoons of it. Oh, and I dropped the top. So, and I drop it again just to, yep, there it is, just to let you guys know. So on the side there, you see I have a half of onion diced, as well as a bell pepper, and that's a full bell pepper, and that's just half of an onion. And I'm going to incorporate that now, and I'm going to let the onions get, I usually let the onions get a little translucent, but this particular time I did not. I just went ahead and added my meat in, and I'm going to add that in just a moment. Now, I only use half an onion because the people and the person that I was cooking for doesn't really care for onions. So I don't want to add too many, but I do like the flavor of onions in spaghetti. And I did make a mess when I put them in there, but nevertheless, disregard that. But again, I don't let the onions get as translucent. So if you would prefer your onions and bell peppers to cook a little longer before you add your meat in, you're more than welcome to do that. But for me, this particular time, I only cooked it for, you know, just a little bit before I added my meat in. I'm going to do that here in just a moment. Okay, so here I am. I'm about to add my meat now. So the meat that I decided that I use every time I cook spaghetti, I always use ground turkey because I'm not a fan of ground beef, but you're more than welcome to use any meat that you want. There's a month of other meats that's available. There's ground chicken, ground turkey, of course, ground beef, ground pork, ground sausage, and I actually use some sausage, some mild Italian sausage here, and I'll definitely link below all ingredients that I use so you'll know what specific meat I use. But I do like the taste of the sausage as well as the ground turkey in my spaghetti. Okay, guys, so as you can see, I went ahead and got my meat nice and brown. You want to make sure there aren't any more pink pieces of meat in there. You want to make sure you cooked your meat thoroughly and all the way through. One thing I also want you all to notice is that I chop my meat up as fine as possible. I don't really like meat chunks. I just don't know why. I just know that meat chunks are just, unless it's like supposed to be meatballs, but I would prefer that my meat is completely chopped up before I season it. So now I'm about to season my meat. I just sorry, I'm gonna cross in front of the camera a couple of times. I should have put my seasonings on the other side, but I didn't. I'm so sorry about that. So we're gonna start with a little Lowry's seasoning salt. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this bottle because I cook so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this bottle of seasoning. It's a couple other bottles that I finished up as well. So we definitely want to add that seasoning salt. You don't have to add as much because we're going to add something else in just a little bit that's a tad bit salty as well. Now we're going to add a little black pepper to it. And I finished that off too, as you can see. As I guess you can see, I like a little seasoning salt and pepper a lot. So now I'm going to go in with a little bit of, I think I'm going to hit it next with some garlic powder and onion powder. Those two are definitely what you want to incorporate. Now you notice I'm adding a little bit more. It's a little heftier on the garlic powder and onion powder because not only are we seasoning our meat, but we're also seasoning our sauce as well. So you want to make sure that it's well seasoned throughout. So I think that was onion powder, and I'm going to go in with some garlic powder now. These are new bottles, the reason why it's taking me so long to open it. And yeah, that's garlic powder. I can tell by the color. So, excuse me, we want to make sure we are putting a hefty amount of seasoning there because, again, we're seasoning our sauce as well. And then I'm going in with some Italian seasoning to add that Italian twang to it, and it gives it another flavoring that's out this world. So you definitely want to make sure you get Italian seasoning. And oh, I'm getting smart here. I'm putting the seasonings on the other side. So now my secret ingredient that I never tell anyone, brown sugar. I know a lot of people use white sugar. I think brown sugar, I don't want to say it tastes better, but I feel like brown sugar is more beneficial when cooking spaghetti versus white sugar. A part of me feels like white sugar is too sweet. I don't know, but I just know brown sugar for me is better. And if you use white sugar, I would say go ahead and use brown sugar one time and see if you can tell a difference. You may or may not, but brown sugar is definitely one that I use. And here you can see I almost forgot my other special ingredient. I add a little chicken bouillon to my seasoning as well. So that's why this is very salty. So that's why I didn't use that much seasoning salt, because I was going to use some chicken bouillon. Okay, so now before we go any further, I just want to let you know that I did drain my meat. So please make sure you drain all the oil and fat off of your meat before you go any further. So now what I'm doing, I accidentally bought salt-free or sodium-free chicken broth, but you want to make sure you can get whichever one you want, but I prefer it not to be salt-free because it kind of takes away from the flavoring of the spaghetti. So I did have to season it just a little bit more. You'll see me do that here in just a little bit. But I am adding chicken stock, and I'm going to add a little bit more because I don't want it to be soupy, but I want it to once I stir it, you'll see the consistency of how it should be. Okay, so I've stirred in the chicken broth, and now I'm going to add in my stewed tomatoes. You are more than welcome to use diced tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, or whichever type of tomatoes you like. You can even use fresh tomatoes, but I personally like stewed tomatoes because I do like the juice that it comes in. But I find myself chopping up the stewed tomatoes because they are fairly large, so I do find myself chopping them up. But I like the way the stewed tomatoes are. I like how loose they are, I guess you could say. I really don't like chunks of tomatoes. I would prefer it be looser, I guess. So I'm chopping it up to make a little bit more of them versus them being such big half tomato chunks. I don't really like that. And here I'm turning up my heat just a little bit because it would look like if it was sort of like on a simmer. So I wanted it to be a little bit higher because I'm about to start adding in more ingredients. And here you're more than welcome to add another can of stewed tomatoes or another can of diced tomatoes, or you can tweak it however you like. You can add as many tomatoes as you want or as least, or you don't even have to add any at all. So now I'm going in with my tomato sauce. I don't like to use the whole can at first. I kind of like to do it by eye to see if that's enough. So in this particular instance, I did go ahead and use the whole can. That's one of the bigger cans. Excuse me. It is one of the bigger pans. One of the bigger cans of tomato sauce that I used. Again, I do end up using the whole thing. Now, if you're like me, you can put some chicken broth or chicken stock in the can, shake it up, and get all of your sauce out. Get your money's worth, girl. Get your money's worth. So here you see I'm actually about to taste it, because you have to make sure anytime you're cooking anything, you want to make sure you taste your food. That is the only way you will know if you need to add anything. That's pretty much it. You can't take anything out, but you want to make sure if you need to add anything. So here, as you notice, I'm needing to add a lot more seasoning, as far as the onion powder, the garlic powder, and I think I'm going to add a little more chicken bouillon and sugar. So again, like I said, when we were seasoning our meat, we weren't just seasoning the meat, we were also seasoning the sauce that we were going to add in. So you want to make sure that you have seasoned your sauce to your likings, of course. So I'm adding a little more sauce here, or a little more seasoning here, because it has to be perfect. All right, guys, as you can see, we are done. And this is the final product for our delicious and scrumptious spaghetti sauce. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you smash that like button if you have tried it, if you're going to try it. Comment below if you see anything that you would change or anything that I should try, or even if you use the recipes, just comment down below and say what's cooking good looking. That lets me know that you guys definitely tried this recipe. Now, if you would please subscribe to my channel, that would be great. So that way I can keep this thing going. Also, make sure you hit that post notification bell so you will know when I have posted a video of a new recipe. And I want to thank you guys so much again for being my support system. Again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And with much love, until the next video. Bye.